One place for all the ways we play. This is Stadia. Gather round.
Our vision for Stadia is simple. One place for all the ways we play. It's focused on gamers, inspired by developers, and amplified by YouTube creators. Imagine you are watching games on YouTube, and you discover the latest Assassin's Creed Odyssey trailer on Ubisoft's official channel on YouTube. You will notice the Play Now button. By simply clicking on that button, the player is brought directly into the game in a browser in as quick as 5 seconds. With no download, no patch, no update, and no install. Stadia offers instant access to play. Compare that to today, where gamers are all too familiar with things like this. With Stadia, this waiting game will be a thing of the past. A key benefit of our platform is that a single creative vision and a single code base can now be enjoyed instantly across any screen. This new generation of gaming is not a box. With Stadia, the data center is your platform. There is no console that limits the developer's creative ideas, and no console that limits where gamers can play. So imagine you've just discovered that game for the first time, you're running it on the Chrome browser, and here it is on a Pixelbook running the Chrome OS. There is basically no hardware acceleration on that laptop whatsoever, and the game is running directly from our data center. It's then easy and instantaneous to move that same game experience from exactly that moment onto the phone, here on a Pixel 3 XL. Once again, no loss in quality, and we can go straight on to the desktop PC. We actually went to buy the least powerful PC we could find here, and we could enjoy the same vision that the developer had, the same high-quality 1080p stream at 60 frames per second, and the full game vision, regardless of the hardware that you're using. And then it's once again seamless to go from running on our PC to running on a tablet. In this case, once again, running the Chrome OS on a Pixel slate. And then finally, we then move seamlessly to the TV. And so this TV is accessed using this, which is a Chromecast Ultra HDMI streamer. There is no console required to reach. I'd like to introduce you to the newest member of the Google hardware family, the Stadia controller. This is your gateway to the best of Stadia. It enables you to access the full Stadia experience, and there are many advantages to the Stadia controller. And the first is that it will connect through Wi-Fi directly to the game that is running in the Google data center. The Stadia controller identifies which screen or device you want to play on and links it with your game session running in the cloud, ensuring the highest possible performance and the best experience for players. In addition to the standard functions you'd expect to see on a modern game controller, the Stadia controller features 2 very important new buttons. The capture button is for sharing and saving your game experience back out to YouTube. The gamer can choose to share their experiences starting with a click of this button to themselves, to their friends, or to the world. They are in control. And the second one is the Google Assistant button. Pressing this button allows players to immediately access the controller's built-in microphone so they can get help from the assistant for special in-game features integrated by developers.
For our initial public test with Project Stream in 2018, we delivered up to 1080p 60 frames per second with stereo audio. When Stadia launches, we will have increased performance significantly to support resolutions up to 4K at 60 frames per second with HDR and surround sound. And in the future, we'll be able to stream games in up to 8K resolution. What's even more exciting is that in addition to the stream you get as a player, there is a second simultaneous stream at 4K 60 frames per second that you can choose to share directly to YouTube from the Stadia data center, meaning your gaming memories will be saved at the highest possible quality. Lisa and her team helped us design a chip to bring you more than 10 teraflops of power, which we've coupled with a custom CPU to make up a single Stadia instance. And here's how the graphical power of Stadia compares to the top 2 consoles in the market.
we couldn't be happier to be bringing Doom Eternal to Stadia, and are thrilled to announce that the game will be capable of running at true 4K resolution with HDR color at an unrelenting 60 frames per second.
And that includes taking advantage of the power of multiple GPUs at once. We've asked our friends at UL Benchmarks, makers of 3D Mark, to put Stadia to the test. In this video, you can see some comparison points showing the difference between our single GPU and multiple GPUs. What you see here on the left of the line is running on a single 10.7 teraflop GPU. And on the right of the line, you can see the same content running on Stadia using multiple GPUs. In this demo, we're highlighting real-time fluid deformation. Accurate water simulation is one of the most compute-intensive effects for games. And it's a powerful example of what Stadia is capable of. And I'm so excited to see where game developers go with this kind of performance. What that means is a synchronized state across a very high volume of players, where innovations like distributed physics can be built into your games, where battle royale games could go from hundreds of players today to thousands of players tomorrow. And yes, no cheating and no hacking. Stadia will, of course, embrace full cross-platform play. Developers will have the ability to enable cross-platform multiplayer for all players, and even bring game saves and progression across as well.
The first one is focused on multiplayer. Stadia not only provides high-performing multiplayer experiences from player to player, but also allows developers to create new, gorgeous gaming environments. Our friends at Tangent Games have been working with us on a technical proof of concept that you can see here behind me. They spent a few short weeks creating this beautiful multiplayer world with a persistent, massively destructible environment. It is a raw demonstration of scale and power using the best of Stadia technology, where every piece of the environment in this multiplayer world is destructible using real-time rigid body physics. When modern games start to push the boundaries of current hardware, rendering 2 or more scenes simultaneously becomes too resource-intensive, and so split-screen couch co-op has been fading from gaming. But when all of your clients are in the cloud, couch multiplayer has new life again through Stadia in what we're calling Stream Connect. In the past, the resources required to execute split-screen co-op have required developers to sacrifice more of their creative goals. With Stream Connect, we're making it possible to realize split-screen multiplayer without any performance penalty. Behind me, you'll see a technology proof of concept that we built at Google. It's called the Night Forest, a co-op demo with asymmetric player roles. Here we have 2 players, one hunter on the ground and a supporting aerial player, set up in a standard split-screen view. Each of these screens is powered by a separate Stadia instance.
Established creators will have new ways to engage and monetize on YouTube with Stadia features. And with aspiring creators, we're going to break down the barrier of entry in capturing content by giving you the ability to highlight, live stream, and capture directly from Stadia. We've already seen the idea of any YouTube link being a direct access point into the game, and that is a huge opportunity for both big and small creators. We're empowering creators to forge deeper connections with their audience, and one of those ways will be to make it easier to actually game with them. Often when you're watching a stream, you find yourself wishing you could be in there playing alongside with your favorite creators. On traditional platforms, you'd have to fire up your console or your PC and just hope that you get matched up with them. However, with Stadia and a new feature called Crowd Play, you'll be able to simply click a button displayed right in the stream and jump in and play with YouTube creators that you're watching. Take a look at the video behind me. It's a live stream of NBA 2K. The person watching can simply click the link and be placed into the lobby for the next game. If you think about it, Crowd Play can act like an all-new lobby system for games. And with Stadia, YouTube becomes the ultimate discovery and engagement tool for content. And of course, YouTube creators will have full management capabilities over this feature.
But now with State Share, you can actually take this to the next level by letting the people who are just watching you replicate the exact same scenario you just played through in-game. Like that impossible moment when you're out of med kits and you suddenly have a zombie breathing down your neck. Imagine the endless variations that creators can layer on top of all their favorite games by specifically designing challenges oriented to their unique audience. For creators, you suddenly become a game maker yourself. Creating challenges through StateShare allows us to continue creating content for all your favorite games long after the game itself has been completed. And on the other hand, the audience now can reconnect with all their favorite games in completely new, exciting, and fresh ways.
Designers love creating challenge, but as games reach more and more people, the design problem of creating a perfect challenge gets more and more difficult. When a player is stuck on a level or puzzle and desperately wants that next beat in the story or the breathtaking views in the next level, what do? Today, they have to leave the game, fire up YouTube, find the right video, scrub to the right part of that video, and watch how it's done. With Stadia, that help will be just a button press away. Take this example from our friends at Crystal Dynamics with Rise of the Tomb Raider. When the player gets stuck on a level, like me, instead of grabbing a laptop or a phone, they just need to push the button on the Stadia controller to get help from the Google Assistant. No distractions, no need to take your eyes off the game, and no secondary devices needed. We've already shipped development hardware to more than 100 studios around the world, and more than 1,000 creatives and engineers are hard at work bringing their games to our platform. In addition to partnering with developers big and small, I'm also thrilled to announce that today we are forming Stadia Games and Entertainment, which will build experiences designed exclusively for Stadia as Google's own first-party game studio. So, when will players be able to experience Stadia? I'm thrilled to announce that Stadia is launching this year, 2019. We will launch first in the US, Canada, the UK, and most of Europe.